Silu.
I'm in love. I'm obsessed. And I don't even feel guilty about it.
Obsessions are not always bad, especially when it's an obsession with your favorite radio station, Diamond 88.7 FM. We're obsessed with enhancing your radio experience. Diamond 88.7 FM, shining supreme.
You can only get timely, credible, and reliable news on your shining supreme station. Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin.
For the best of national, local, international news and sport, tune in to News Punch and Diamond 88.7 FM. News Punch, all about the news.
All right, the time is 9 o'clock. A very wonderful morning to you, and thanks for staying with us on Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin. This is News Punch, a news and current affairs compilation of topical story headlines making the rounds. I am your host, Nedu Okorie. You are welcome. All right, here are the headlines trending in the news today. President Tinubu signs 2.7 trillion naira 2023 supplementary budget into law. Court grants Emefiele bail. Imo Rec will conduct governorship poll, INEC insists. FRSC deploys 4,500 personnel, 105 vehicles ahead Saturday's elections. Senate asks federal government to immortalize late Ohinohi of Ebira land. Old new Naira note remain legal tender, says CBN. Senate probes admission fraud in varsities, summon ministers, others. Another batch of 161 stranded Nigerians arrive Lagos airport from Libya. Tinubu appoints 20 commissioners for National Population Commission. Attack on NLC president. All Imo flights blacklisted nationwide. Imo Guba. Army flags off Operation Safe Conduct ahead of Saturday poll. Kwara. Punch is forgiven its error on Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrazak. And moving on to the foreign scene. La Bella fighting. Amhara Fano militia and Ethiopian army clash in historic town. Togo soldiers jailed over murder of colonel close to president. UN says Israeli military operations clearly wrong. And finally on the foreign scene, Republicans subpoena Biden's son, brother in impeachment probe. And moving into the world of sports, I didn't want to join Manchester United Mikel Obi on infamous transfer saga. Manchester United beaten by FC Copenhagen in Champions League. Union Berlin take first Champions League point from Napoli. La Liga, Barcelona identify two potential Xavi's replacements. All right, there you have it. Those are the major headlines making the rounds today It was compiled and edited by Joseph Emeribe. My name is Nedu Okorie. For sponsorship or advert placement, kindly contact our sales and marketing office on 0912 929 4332. You can as well call 0812 828 6078. Up next is the Diamond Breakfast Show, where we discuss and have an in-depth analysis of some of the topical stories. And do not forget that you can follow us by logging on to any of Diamond FM online platforms on www.diamondfm.net, or keep up to date via our social media pages. On Facebook, it is Diamond 887 FM. On YouTube, it is Diamond FM Ilorin. Stay tuned.
Want to know why we do what we do in serving you the best of broadcasting at Diamond 88.7 FM?
Because you're worth it. Because you're worth it. Because you're worth it. And you're worth it. You know you're worth it.
Yes, you're worth it. We'll go the whole mile for you. Diamond 88.7 FM, we've got you.
The major talking point in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at smaller countries taking lead, and you call yourself giant of Africa. Yeah.
Nigeria don't spoil my business too much. Nigeria is too hard for us. I mean, they want to kill us. Father, not kill us for Nigeria. Oh, please, help us beg them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place the spotlight on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can a government, how can you hold Indomine? This is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice genuine democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people.
Want to know why we do what we do in serving you the best?
From the studios of Diamond 88.7 FM in Ilorin, this is the Diamond Breakfast Show.
Alright, it's another bright and beautiful day in the historical city of Ilorin. You're welcome to another wonderful edition of your daily magazine program, Diamond Breakfast Show, where we're broadcasting live from the international studios of Diamond 88.7 FM, Irewolede, Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria. Yes, I say good morning once again. This is the station that gives you comprehensive and detailed news, interesting conversations, and banging music. Yes, we are numero uno in Kwara State, and I'm happy and grateful to God for being here. I'm also grateful to you, my listener, for tuning in and for also staying glued to Diamond FM. Once again, the program is Diamond Breakfast Show. We dissect and discuss vital, trending topics in politics, as well as the society at large. We bring them to you sizzling hot and fresh. Yes, the show comes up every day. That is from Mondays to Fridays. And I'm always here on Tuesdays and on Thursdays. Do well to listen to us online via our website. It is www.diamondfm.net. And you can also watch us live on Facebook, Diamond 887 FM. On YouTube, it is Diamond FM Ilorin. And yes, I've not done my usual introduction. My name is Nedu Okorie. My friends call me Odogu. Since you are my friend, why not go ahead and call me Odogu? Good morning once again. All right, this morning our conversation will be focused on the build-up and the update on the off-season elections in Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi State, and we'll be looking at the expectations from INEC, from the politicians, and from the political parties. And we'll also be discussing on electoral officers who stay away or who do not reside in their place of primary assignment. That is where they govern. So these are the issues we'll be discussing, and if time permits us, we'll be looking at a comment from Dele Momodu. He's a foremost journalist. His comment on Wike being a member of two political parties. This is coming from a comment or from a tweet from a Twitter user on the X page. Yes, we'll be looking at these issues, and I'll also like you to make your comments and make your contributions. Get your phones ready and participate by calling in or sending your messages as we analyze these issues from different angles so that you have a better understanding. Yes, sending your messages on WhatsApp via 0913 655 6864 0913 655 6864, and the number to call is 0913 655 6952. Those are the numbers, and you know the rules. Do note that your opinion must not deviate from the standards, that is ensuring that you use radio friendly language. In other words, no foul words, no attack on personalities or entities. All right, thank you very much. Yes, my guest is already seated in the studio, and my guest is no other person. Is not a is not a new person to Diamond FM. My guest is Dr. Zil Olatubosun Ogunmakin. He's a public affairs analyst. Dr. Zil, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, you're welcome. Let's get the show started. It's still the off-cycle election season where 3 states are to elect their leaders. And with less than 48 hours to the governorship election in Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi states, different stakeholders and political parties in this state have signed a peace accord. Most of them signed yesterday, and it was organized by the Kuka Center and the National Peace Committee to ensure a violence-free and fair election. First, let's look at how political actors adhere to the stipulations of the peace accord, which serves as an agreement to maintain peace during and after the election. For instance, in Bayelsa, there are indications that the peace accord may be violated due to the emergence of the statement from the frontline gladiators like Diodiri and Timipri Silva, whom they made statements after this peace signing that both candidates are trying to, or they're accusing themselves of plotting or undermining the peace accord through certain degrees of violence. Well, to really understand what we're talking about, let's listen to this audio. This is actually the governor, the incumbent governor of Bayelsa State.
Politicians do not keep to it. So it's just a ritual, we come and sign, and then the bad politicians amongst us will continue the violence. And I've just been informed that the former governor of the state whom you interviewed has accused me, the Oyediri governor, of stockpiling arms in Kolokmokokma. That should be the fattest lie of the year. And that shows that this peace accord is ineffectual. It's ineffectual because if a man chooses to be telling lies, even in the face of this accord, then something is wrong in our polity. I am really very embarrassed when I got that information. Chief Timipri Silva may have stockpiled arms in Kolokmokokma, and I call on the security agencies to immediately swing into action to see if Timipri Silva is bringing the devilish actions he has been taking in Nembe, where he has disallowed the people of Nembe to participate in democratic electoral peaceful processes. And we in Kolokmokokma will never accept that from him. How committed are you to this peace accord? I am one person that all of you will attest that the peace in this state is because the body language of the governor is peaceful. The body language of the governor is security. And so the issue or question of my commitment does not arise here. Thank you.
All right, there you have it. That's the Executive Governor of Bayelsa State, Mr. Doye Diri, making, talking about the allegations against him, or the accusations of the former governor of the state that is peddling arms. Well, Dr. Zil, how would you react to these accusations from these two parties?
Thank you for having me, and I also want to greet our listeners at home. I want to say this realistically, that no politician in Nigeria is really peaceful. When you talk of peace, they don't even, you see, they don't appreciate it.
You said no politician. You said
no,
all.
All put together.
Are you saying all, or most, or some?
Unapologetic about it.
Well,
I am that kind of person.
You have to say that with fact.
Yes, because of the reality in each state. And what happens when election is coming. This is electioneering time in these particular states that we are talking about. Check them out. Which of these three states that will be having their election this coming Saturday in 2 days' time, that you don't have one thing or the other?
Okay.
So if you look at it, and one thing about them is that the governor of Bayelsa State just said the former governor that just spoken the fattest lie of the year. Which one is his own? If we call his own, maybe I don't know.
The former governor was actually accusing him of peddling arm or stockpiling arm in a particular area in the state. That's what he was trying to refute.
They know how they play their games. Let me tell you something. There is something about politicians. Politicians, they have a kind of weaponized certain things for their electioneering process.
I sincerely apologize, Dr. Zil. We need to take a breather right now. Let's pay some bills, and when we come back, we'll continue with the conversation. Do stay tuned. This is still Diamond 88.7 FM.
Technology has changed our world, from communication to sports, business, health, and even transport. Innovations made by young people from different nations. Nigeria is also blessed with a wealth of talent capable of making positive global impacts. Kwara State, in particular, can become a technological talent hub for Africa. That's why Kwara Build Tech Community is inviting you to join the over 2,000 young people who are solving local and global challenges through collaborative innovation at the 6th KBTC conference, tag KBTC 23. At KBTC 23, you will learn, network, be inspired, and be built up to be one of the builders of our tomorrow. This event will be happening live on the 10th to 11th November 2023 at Romix International Schools Conference Hall, Ilorin, Kwara State. Gate pass is free. You only pay for VIP and VVIP tickets. For more information, visit kwarabuild.com. KBTC. The future begins today.
Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Diamond 887 FM. Diamond FM, shining supreme.
All right, you're welcome back from that commercial break. You're still listening to the Diamond Breakfast Show, reaching you from the stables of Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin. And we've been having conversations around the build-up and of the off-season elections slated to hold this Saturday in Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi. And politicians have been urged to maintain peace by signing peace accord. And I have here Dr. Zil with me, who is analyzing the issue of going on, especially in Bayelsa State, where the incumbent governor, made an accusation against the previous governor that is peddling arms. Well, Dr. Zil, please go ahead.
You see, they don't respect peace accord. That's why I use the word peace is far from them. Because, you see, a peaceful person, you don't even say it, you act it. If you are a peaceful person, you don't tell people you are peaceful. It's not words, it's action.
Okay.
And actions, they say, speaks louder than words. Politicians say a lot of things. Don't follow their words. So check their action. So me, I'm talking based on the actions I know about them. Politicians don't act based on their words. majority of them, they act only based on what interests them. And what interests them is to get to power at all costs in any way. Okay. Even if head rolls, they don't care. And they will only come to the media, especially when mic is before their mouth or they are facing camera. They will tell you another thing. But what they do in the secret is quite different. And that is why we should no longer deceive ourselves in this country. The misfortune or the reality on ground in our nation, it is caused by the deception, the shenanigans of these people when they say certain things and do another thing. And that is why I will not feel for the Yediri of Bayelsa State now saying that when it comes to the former guys, the question is, have there been a time whereby politicians by themselves, they themselves can be free from some form of thuggery, harm carrying and all those of things? We always notice their supporters. Check it out, especially those people that are really their strong supporters. You check them now that these guys are the toughest rugged human being you can think of, and they can do anything for their superior, their principal, to get to power. And that's where they will not give them one pack or the other, one thing or the other, and at the end of the day they will not be able to perform, only be there for another cycle of election.
Now Dr. Zeal, you've mentioned all this that is obtainable in our polity, especially in the build-up of this off-cycle election. Now, we'll still look at other questions relating to these states, but what do you think can be used to provide a solution to this menace of arms carrying and thuggery occurring in our polity?
You see, the only thing that can be done is to punish the offenders.
However, some have been found to be above the law.
Yes, that's why for me, providing solution in this country, I'm tired again. Let me tell you, do you know how many solutions we have provided on radio, on air? Do they listen to us? Let me tell you the truth. There is no amount of solution. People will tell you, even some callers will say, stop complaining. Stop complaining. Stop saying politicians are this. Tell us what they can do. All the ones we have been telling them, which one have they done?
We just hope that they will abide by all
that
these things.
Hope, my brother, sorry to disappoint you. It cannot be realized with this set of people. It can only be realized if God in the heaven intervene. Because let me tell you, anybody who is still deceiving himself, putting hope on this crop of politicians that we have, and you think that it will, like this common poor man prayer, it will be better. It is on God though. The reason is this. The politicians we have, check them out from the smallest to the biggest. They are always after what they always say themselves, interest. And one thing they don't add to the interest is selfish interest. Me, I always add it for them.
Okay, now let us look at the situation in Imo State. This is one state that has experienced civil and political unrest.
Bam, I like that.
Stemming from grievances of agitators, oppositions, and quite recently, the labor union, which is evidenced by the brutalization of the NLC president, Mr. Joe Ajaero, for whatever reasons. Now, the governor of the state, who is also the APC candidate, Mr. Hope Uzodinma, was absent at the signing of the peace accord. And major candidates were also absent, talking about the Labour Party candidate, APGA, NNPP. Even though the peace accord was signed by their party leaders, from your own discretion and perspective, what does this indicate? Is this a subtle, will I say, similarity with the Bayelsa case?
You see what I've just said? That's the way it is now. See, let me tell you one thing that we are good at in Nigeria.
Sorry to cut you short, because the Bayelsa state governor said something. He said, this, well, to him is just a normal ritual.
Yeah.
That's his word.
That's the right expression.
But he will maintain peace, stemming from the accusations he has been getting from the previous governor.
See, one thing I have learned, immediately I clock 40 and above, I don't deceive myself again, because a fool at 40 is a fool forever. And many people in this country, they've turned themselves to fools, keep believing the words of the politician.
Dr. Zeo, please,
I'm sorry
just
for saying that.
Be mild with your words.
Let me say this. Why I say so is the pain of people still believing in empty speeches from politicians, and they are not acting. based on that. Peace accord is meant to be followed. Even Archbishop Onayekon said it in Imo. That why is it that when it comes to, no, it was in Kogi, that why is it that when it comes to this issue of peace accord, they only send representative. The main gladiators, as they used to call themselves,
yes,
which me I don't appreciate calling them, because they don't even come forward to come and show that truly we are willing. And when you even see them come forward, like we used to see in the main general election itself,
yes,
they don't obey it. And at the end of the day, you still realize that what they only do is the formality, is the ritual, as the governor said. And at the end of the day, it will not hold water. And what does it tell you? It tells you that politicians in this country don't care about anything that will not go in tandem with their interests. And one thing about them is that they know that to get power in this country, it is the survival of the fittest and the powerful. And it is only when you are so powerful, you have a lot of people that can fight for you, because they call it fights. They don't see it as a healthy competition.
Okay.
They often see it like fight. And that is why you see that some of them, look at the names they give themselves. One call himself White Lion, another one we call himself Black One. So first, for you to know that they are there to cause all sorts of things to get up. And they know that they are doing that because nobody will punish them. And they have so much weaponized things that everybody, they use poverty to affect the people. They also make sure the judiciary dance to their tone and every other thing, so that nobody except God that can now intervene in one way or the other.
There was something you mentioned earlier. You said certain stakeholders are meant to monitor the outcome or to follow this peace accord. Who are these stakeholders that you think have the willpower or the power to make sure that this peace accord that is signed are followed or adhered to strictly? We know we have the Kuka Foundation headed by the Sokoto Archbishop, Bishop Matthew Kuka. We have the Peace Committee headed by Abdulsalam Abubakar. Which other stakeholders do you think have or they respect well to follow this peace accord?
No other person. They don't politicians respect. See, all these people that you mentioned, they are eminent people, respected people.
Yes.
But if you cannot respect, who will you not? In fact, politicians, I almost want to say maybe they even respect God. Because if you have these people we are talking about, they are not commoners in Nigeria, all these people you mentioned. But if they do not respect them, so let me tell you, they don't even, there is no other person you want to bring, they will respect. Except maybe if God now send one of the most powerful angels from heaven to come and supervise it. So they don't respect any one of them. And that's why they don't follow it. They don't act in tandem. And you see them, they will tell you, me, I'm a peaceful person. Don't follow their word. Check their action. At the end of the day, they will also deny a lot of, do you know that every election of cycle, or during general election, a lot of life is often lost. And it's not just that of the civilian alone. Even the security agents. And that is what happened. You look at it of recent now in Kogi, one of the governorship aspirants is where he used to stay in one of the local government. They went there, they said that they wanted to go and arrest people there. They used the security agents. At the end of the day, there was a kind of gunfire. And 2 security agents lost their lives. So why must lives be lost? Because people want to get to power. Why have our politicians turned to people who shed blood for them to get to power?
Well, according to reports, security agents from the Nigerian Army and the Nigerian Police Force have stated that they've instituted certain security measures to make sure that this election goes on smoothly, and we hope so. Well, the Catholic Bishop of Sokoto Diocese, Bishop Matthew Kuka, has always been vocal on political matters, and is highly respected as a man who advocates for peace and unity in the country. In his words of admonition, he enjoined and pleaded with political actors to ensure that they all imbibe the spirit of oneness, with the knowledge that only the living can participate in politics and enjoy the dividends of democracy. Dr. Zil, taking from this cue, from the words of Bishop Kuka, what should be expected from INEC, from political parties, from politicians, and even the citizens in these states?
Sincerity. Because this set of people you mentioned, they've not been sincere and they've not been patriotic enough for them to say, starting with INEC, as we speak, imagine in Imo yesterday, whereby at a point INEC said the media should have their camera, only watch. Who does that? So let me tell you, all these things, especially in this current INEC, they don't care. They kept on telling us their own. They do another thing. And as we speak, it's as if they have interest in one particular political party that it has been ruling us for only God knows now, that in one way or the other, since this particular INEC chairman came on board, he has a way of walking and dancing to the tune. And it should not be so. It should be, okay, look at it. When the new IG noticed that in Imo, they were complaining of the commissioner of police.
Yes.
Look at it. That shows that the man really wanted to prove to them that he's not taking side. He redeployed the man back to the force headquarters.
So are you saying the INEC chairman should have redeployed the
That is the most responsible thing to do, comparing with what had just happened in general election. That in one way or the other you will say this and you do another. He should prove himself that truly is not working for one political party.
All right, Dr. Zil, at this point, let's take another break, and when we come back, we'll still look at different angles to this or delve into some other issues. Yes, we've been having conversations concerning the build-up of the off-season election slated to hold this Saturday in 3 different states, and we've been looking at the adherence to the peace accord that was signed yesterday by political actors. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back shortly to continue with the program.
For fast relief of cold pain, fever and headache. Karaole, koko.
Ẹ sọ fún ẹ̀fọ́rí òtútù yìí bàtàrà ríro kí wọ́n kán lùgbọ́ one time. Karaole ti dé o. Àgbàwọlé ní tíṣẹ́ ni àkàwọlé ń tè kan. Koríko tẹ́lẹ̀ bá ti tẹ òtún gbérí mọ́. Dìde Karaole lúbúlúbú funfun pẹ̀yìn rúkù sarajọ mẹ́ra yágágá. Àjàká kò tí sọkọ fún ẹ̀fọ́rí òtútù yìí bàtàrà ríro lágọ̀ọ́ ara. Káì! Kàsàkàsà knockout. Agbára ju agbára lọ. Dìde Karaole jagunlabi olùgbòǹgbò gàjàtọ̀ ara jàtọ̀ kìtìlẹ̀. Ẹgbẹ́ ìlúra kẹgbà. To Yield Pharmaceutical Industries Limited. Àwọn tó lórúkọ tó ṣe é gbẹ́kẹ̀lé níbi kápò oògùn òyìnbó ló ṣe é. Bára rẹ̀ ò bá yá lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ mẹ́ta. Má ṣàfihàn o, kàn sí dókítà rẹ̀.
The sounds, the vibes, good talking, conversations. You can have it all on Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin. Diamond 88.7 FM, we've got you.
All right, you're welcome back to the Diamond Breakfast Show, and this is still Diamond 88.7 FM, the best station that gives you informative news, educative talk shows, as well as entertaining music. Yes, you can keep your calls coming in. We've been discussing on the off-cycle election. The number to call is 0913-655-6952, 0913-655-6952. The phone lines have been buzzing, and you can also send your WhatsApp messages to 0913-655-6864. At this point, I think I should take some message. This one says, good morning, presenter and the analyst. I give a big kudos to our analyst. There is no solution with this kind of politics that we are practicing in Nigeria and the kind of leaders that we are parading in Nigeria. We, the followers, are not sincere. Also, God has given us leaders according to our acts to fix Nigeria. Lies in the hand of the citizens. Engineer Abdul Yasir Al-Barika from Ofa. All right, Engineer Yasiru, thank you so much for sending your messages. Yes, keep it coming. I think we should pick this call. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next conversation we have. I think we've looked at different angles to that conversation. All right. All right. Yesterday there was a report on Punch newspaper that officers, governors who stay away for too long from where they govern, there's a report concerning that, and that there's a strong indication that some governors in the country are governing their people outside their states, and some of them allegedly govern from Abuja, from other parts of the world. And according to this report, several residents and stakeholders are complaining that their absence from these states is actually negative, is having a negative effect on the principle of governance as well as on that state. And it also revealed that most of these governors do not hand over their power to their deputies, but prefer to make most of the decisions of the state from wherever they are, which actually goes against the Constitution of Nigeria, the provisions of the Constitution that states that the governor has a statutory duty to sit and ensure that lives and property are secured and protected, and he is not expected to stay outside the state for more than 2 weeks because he's the chief security officer. There's something I'm going to mention about this security issue. Somebody mentioned that Jigawa State. He mentioned Jigawa State. He just jokingly said Jigawa State is one of the states that is called God's own state, but the governor doesn't reside in the state. He said that on a lighter note. And according to these reports, many states were mentioned: Kogi, Zamfara, Gombe, Sokoto, and our own dear state, Kwara. What's your take on this issue, especially as it concerns our own state, Kwara State?
I remove Kwara on my own.
Okay.
Unapologetic to the person that put Kwara.
Okay.
The reason is this. Naturally, the governor we have in this state.
Yes.
I've studied him since I came. I am somebody that I am anti-politician, but I just actually have a flair for this particular governor. The governor Abdurrahman Abdurrazak.
Okay.
And the reason is this. Not because of what other oppositions that are opposing him in one way or the other may be thinking, but he's kind of person. Nobody is perfect. Politicians in one way, I always say they are the same in one way or the other. But him in particular, he doesn't go away the way
others
do. And remember, he's the chairman of the
National Governors Forum.
So it's only when he's needed, and he doesn't go like he will just go and he will not return. Except for those who are just talking in opposition just to paint him black and blue or in any way. At least in what is humanly possible for the governor, he has been doing. And in terms of delegating power, he is very good in his own way at delegation. At least I have followed some of his antecedents. Even currently, when he leaves, he has a way of allowing the deputy to undo certain functions, to do certain things, which for me, sincerely speaking, he has been doing his bit in that area. It's not really staying away. But for these other states mentioned, I can tell you yes. But for this one, not because I'm in Kwara, if it's wrong, I will tell you in my own way it is. But it's in his own way. Even when he goes out, he doesn't stay away for long as they say.
All right, Dr. Z, let's take. Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, so I just feel that those other states should take a cue from that. Not that you can't go away. A leader is a delegator, and when you are staying away, do you delegate? Delegation simply means that you want to, like people are complaining of Ondo State governor.
Okay, let's pick this call, please. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, please. What's your name and where you come?
Our guest, good morning.
Good morning.
What's your name, please?
My name is Yemi Asajo. I'm calling from Ilorin here.
All right, Mr. Yemi, go ahead.
My own contribution. You see, the Peace Accord Committee has lost its credibility because some of its members have been politically compromised. We can all recall how some of them were campaigning for a particular presidential candidate in the last election. Up till now, some of them have refused to congratulate President Tinubu, all because of their tribal and religious emotions. Their case is like asking Satan to oversee peace accord between bandits and Boko Haram elements.
All right.
That committee should be dissolved and a new one composed. As for the politicians, they will always create tense atmosphere by blowing hot air, all because of their inordinate ambition. They are not here to serve, but to do what you and I know. May the Lord bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
All right. Thank you so much. Keep your calls coming in. It's still 0913-655-6952. Well, concerning this allegation from whether oppositions or reporters, the chief press secretary has actually refuted that statement. He said people should go online and check photographs because most of these politicians are always documenting their activities on social media. And
like me, I follow back to back, and in fact, I like and I follow this Kwara State government compared to any other state, and I follow other states too because I do that for me to know in the state I reside. I want to know what is going on. So that's why I said what
Since he's the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, he has a lot of responsibilities. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, please.
My name is Tolani from Rotterdam.
All right, Mr. Tolani, go ahead.
Yes, I would like to say something about this peace accord issue.
Okay.
We can only get this thing right until when our highness has given us a right policy that will not allow any individual or stakeholder to change or to cross from one party to another, at least for a minimum of 10 years. If you are able to have seen this in the INEC policy and it is working in Nigeria, then you will have mixture of all these kinds of problems.
All right. Thank you so much.
On the Agiro and whatever, I think it is the right time for Agiro to pronounce or to prove that he really wants. He didn't want. We have time to prove whatever we have on mind during this supplementary election that is going into place.
All right.
Let them know that yes, the people are not really comfortable about the way they are feeling.
All right, Mr. Tolani, our time is fast spent. Thank you so much. Well, still reacting concerning this absenteeism of governors. Not just governors, we have even in the local level, councillors, local government chairmen who are always absent from the states, the local government secretariat. How would you react to this?
You see, absenteeism becomes a problem when it is without delegation. And it's becoming a kind of pattern that the leader is unstable. For example, when you are a leader, you are not stagnant. At a point, you need to go for one thing or the other, maybe related to your health, or going for one form of training meetings and all of that. But do you delegate? Because the truth is that delegation, you see, that's why I try to say that if a leader does not use the weapon, the power of delegation to make things work in your absence, then you are not a leader. What happened is that when the governor or these people in power, when they leave, what happened in their absence? It is what happened in their absence that will tell you whether their absenteeism, it makes sense or it doesn't. But really, we don't want to encourage absenteeism because it is a form of instability on its own. You need to be stable. And we don't want to encourage it too, because when you wanted to come to power, you didn't say, I will always be absent. You told everybody that you will be here, you will be stable. So they should also review it and check themselves personally that not everything you must go for. You must try to know that your stability matters to be able to see things.
So you're saying in some instances the governor or can send representatives for some functions?
Yes, it is not wrong, especially when you know that certain things are really going on in the state that you need to be on ground.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Thank you, Odogu.
All right. What's your name, please?
This is David from Daniel Liu.
All right, David, go ahead.
Yes. I thank our guest that is over there for all that he has said. But then the issue about whether it is only God that can intervene, God in heaven will not descend. He will still use people to solve a particular problem. And so who God will use is who we have to pray and ask that we notify them. So I want to say that it depends on the masses. It is either we reject the people that are governing us by every one of us coming to terms, just like the labor union. When everybody goes on strike, if we are tired of our leaders, then let everybody strike. Sit at home. It is a question of us agreeing that what is happening in the country is not right, or in any state is not right, and everybody decides to sit at home. If you don't go to any election, nobody will arrest you.
All right.
The question of killing people up and down will not come into being.
All right.
So we just have to do something. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, David. Okay, well, we've gotten to that point where we have to take a breather. Let's go for a commercial break. And when we return, we'll continue with the conversation. You're still listening to Diamond Breakfast Show, reaching you from the studios of Diamond 88.7 FM. Do stay tuned.
Alájà, ẹ fún mi lábọ́ ẹ̀wà méjì. Alájà, irú oorun wo lẹ ń sùn ní dàí.
Ẹ má mà bínú, ìjàgùdù pẹ̀lú àwọn ẹ̀fọn lálẹ́ àná ni ò jẹ́ sùn dáadáa.
Abba, alájà, ṣáwọn ẹ̀fọn sì ń yọ yín lẹ́nu ni. Ìyẹn mà ti di àfihẹ́yìn.
Ṣé lóòótọ́?
Ṣé yóò gba àwọn apẹ̀fọn tó pa ẹ̀fọn ni?
Mo gba àwọn apẹ̀fọn ṣùgbọ́n mi ò tíì máa sùn sínú rẹ̀.
Ẹ nílò láti máa sùn lábẹ́ àwọn apẹ̀fọn yín torí kí ẹ má bàa ṣe àìsàn ibà mọ́. Torí àwọn apẹ̀fọn yìí yóò dáàbò bò yín lọ́wọ́ àwọn ẹ̀fọn tó ń fa ibà. Ojúṣe yín ni láti dáàbò bo ara yín àti àwọn ará ilé yín.
Ẹ máa ṣe ìyá wa, màá rí dájú pé èmi àti ìdílé mi sùn sábẹ́ àwọn apẹ̀fọn lálẹ́ yìí. Ó yẹ ẹ gba ènì fún ìmọ̀ràn yín.
Ẹ máa ṣe ń fa àlájà.
Láti ní ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara tó bọ́ lọ́wọ́ àrùn ibà, kó ipa tirẹ̀ nípa sísùn nínú àwọn tó ń pa ẹ̀fọn lálaalẹ́. Ìkéde yìí wá láti ọwọ́ ìjọba pẹ̀lú àwọn alájọṣepọ̀ tó ń gbógun ti àrùn ibà.
Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Diamond887FM. Diamond FM, shining supreme.
All right, you're still listening to Diamond Breakfast Show, reaching you from the studios of Diamond 88.7 FM, and you're listening to the voice of Odogwu. We've been having conversations concerning the off-cycle elections. That was the previous conversation, and now we're talking about a report that emanated yesterday from the Punch newspaper that revealed the absenteeism of certain governors in our country, and they mentioned Kogi State, Zamfara, Gombe, Sokoto, and they also mentioned Kwara State, which has been refuted by our analyst in the studio and also by the Chief Press Secretary. I want to go into details of what the Chief Press Secretary said, but according to him, he has forgiven, or the governor has forgiven Punch newspaper. Well, that's magnanimous of the governor to do so. Well, let's still look at another angle to this report. It states that every governor is the chief security officer of his state, whereas there are certain states that are encountering security challenge. How do you expect that governor to stay in that state? Is it a funny question?
You see, anytime they come,
he has to take precaution, don't you think so?
Yeah, but at the same time, why are you calling yourself a security officer that is chief? You have to be chiefly in leading. Leadership is by example. In fact, you should be able to take bullet for your people.
You have to lead the war.
Yes. You should be the front runner. You should be able to say, look, before you cut anybody's head, cut mine first. But in Nigeria, politicians don't want to die. So, you know, the truth of the matter is, leadership is by example. And let anybody say anything, you must lead.
Of course.
By example, before you can be called a good leader. But in a situation whereby, when you say you are a leader, you are a chief security officer, but you are not chiefly. Being there, stabled, to ensure that security work, then it is just the usual shenanigans, just saying it and not doing it. So what we are saying here is that they should learn to really allow the state governors to have the power. Let nobody deceive ourselves that we are not ripe. Nigeria, if the governor will use it to themselves. Okay, is it federal government that is not using the federal police to themselves? See, let me tell you, whether we like it or not, in one way or the other, some people take advantage of any power they have to use it. You know, they say absolute power corrupts. And it corrupts absolutely.
Okay.
And that is one thing we should take note of. That whatever it is, they should allow them to really be to control.
Let's take this call, please. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Odogwu.
Yes, please. What's your name?
This is Samuel calling from Abode.
All right, Samuel, go ahead in 2 minutes, please.
What I want, it is Nigeria's security issue. It is only God that can solve it, according to Dr. Zil.
Okay.
Was what he has said. Because if we are to look at it critically, in doing all electioneering, especially these three states, Imo, Bayelsa, and Kogi, we cannot talk about peace in those states because looking back to their past elections, we've not recorded peace. So it is only God. It is only God that can. Because Nigeria political, we are sport beyond repaired. It is only God that can solve.
All right. Let's be optimistic. Thank you, Mr. David, for your call. Well, like I always say on this show, let's be optimistic. Let's not say words that will bring us backwards. Well, let's take this message. This one says, morning to you, Odogu, and the guest in the building. Your guest has said it all. I really enjoyed him. On the issues of Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa elections, I urge the three state governors to adhere to peace accords. This is Ahmed Bolakale Jagbara Itamu Amudu. I hope I got that correctly. Well, let's take another one before we delve into the next conversation. Good morning. For this election, security must be put in place to avoid bloodshed, especially in Kogi. As for the redeployment of the INEC commissioner in Imo, INEC said there is no evidence to the claim that she is biased. For the commissioner of police redeployment, the labor leader brutalization is an evidence which warranted his transfer. We can't just listen to all allegations without proof. I agree with this. If this is allowed, I can make an unfounded allegation. Kayode from airports. Wow. According to the rule of law, fact is that
there are facts. Please, yesterday's zone is sufficient enough for anyone.
You mean in Imo State?
In Imo State. Why will you say media off your camera? Let people be. You see, let me tell you, we should learn to be sincere in this country, in all, from the young to the old of us, that we don't want to take side in any way. What is it that you say, what is secret or secretive about an ongoing what's it called, for all the meeting that every parties are there, and you now say no. That is one way to also let them know
Dr. Zil.
That's an evidence.
Finally on the show, let's look at a statement by chieftain of the People's Democratic Party. Yes, a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, Dele Momodu, yesterday disclosed that the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, wants to be king of two political parties, talking about PDP and APC. He explained that the resources available to Wike is humongous. That's the word he used, and irresistible. Well, he was actually replying a Twitter user who said that the PDP as a party is not serious. They should have taken bold step against Wike. How would you react to this, Dr. Zil? You're always laughing anytime I ask.
So when you see me laugh, it's not just ordinary laugh.
Laughter with weight.
Yes, because is it possible for a king to dethrone himself? Have you ever heard it, sir? It's not possible. Wike, you see, if we are to call him, if there is any other word to use that is more than a king in PDP before he started doing them the way, because he warned them. He warned them. He used to say, Yendeba.
You give this side, you give this side.
He used to use.
Okay, so you mean he's going by his words?
He's going by his words.
You play on this side, you play on this side.
And he used to say, as he dey sweet them. So wait, I'm telling you this because he's doing everything he's doing now intentionally. And now they are now hailing him indirectly because now he has succeeded in having one leg out and one leg in. And he's enjoying his time. The momentum is sweet for Wike because as we speak, the current leaders, political power, they love Wike because of Wike's action.
Not minding his party.
And let's not, we can't take it away from Wike. Wike is not a perfect man.
Yes.
But when it comes to whatever Wike says he will do it. And you know, one thing that is responsible in humanity is that let your word be your bond.
True.
Wike's word has always been his bond, both negatively and positively. so let's not deceive ourselves. So what is going on now? Whether he's becoming, because the other party, he cannot just be a king. There is not even a king in the other party that made him the minister. They only appreciate is what he did in Port Harcourt, in Rivers. That okay now, and he played his game well. He doesn't really.
So he's simply being a politician.
Being a politician. In fact, that is Wike is the true Nigerian politician that take advantage of whatever situation that you can enjoy for the moment, for the time. Just use it well, especially when you know that in this other party they don't have power to remove you, because they cannot just remove him
from the PDP.
From the PDP, because even for him to accept the ministerial stuff, he told them, except for those who are lying. The ones that he told said yes. He didn't just take it. They told him yes, fine, take it. But they thought that maybe he will now use it to their own advantage. You that did not support him, that you don't even want.
I think the primary assignment here is to carry out your duty as a minister or any political position you are being assigned to. And from your own perspective, do you think he's actually discharging his duties? And based on the Constitution, do you think he's discharging...
As a minister?
As a minister, yes.
Yes, Wike has not violated any law of the country in terms of the ministerial appointment or what he's doing. I say, okay, look at it. Wike is a man of action. One thing you can't take away from Wike is me. I'm that kind of person.
So the country comes first before the party.
Yes. You must take note of whatever you are doing and be disciplined. Act. Don't mind whatever anybody is saying. Just do the right thing. And if they say it's still wrong when you are doing the right thing, your reality will judge. Wike is what he's doing currently. PDP caused what is going on for themselves. So they should not, they're only being jealous and being envious of him. They should just allow him, and at the right time, is his moment, is his time. They should just allow him.
All right. Well, we've had a wonderful time on the program. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Zil, for analyzing all these issues. And the purpose of all this analysis is so that we can make good decisions and also to understand what is going on in our polity. Don't just sit around and say, it's none of my business. Yes, be a part of what is going on. Yes, this is where we'll be drawing the curtains on today's edition. And thank you for staying with me on the show. And big thanks to all those who contributed via call, via messages. Mr. David, I can still see calls coming in, but we won't be able to take any more. Special thanks to my producer, Mr. Taiwo Adediran, to my studio manager, Mr. Victor. Thank you so much. And also to our station manager, Mr. Michael Abiodun Olaniwaju. God bless you, sir. And to every other person in the studio, I salute you. Let's do this again next week, Tuesday. My name again is Nedu Okorie. My friends call me Odogu. Since you are my friend, you can call me Odogu. Stay tuned for the news at 10 in Yoruba language, and may God bless the works of your hands, and have a wonderful day.
This is our promise. We made up our minds to do something new, something different, do more, do the impossible, do better, do big, do good, do it again.